Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today let's take a look at the 2026 Volkswagen Golf GTI Autobahn. This model is finished off in King's Red Metallic. MSRP is just over $42,000. This is powered by the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo paired to the 7-speed dual clutch automatic. It pumps out 241 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. This is front-wheel drive with the limited slip differential as well. Weighs in just over 3,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds with a top speed of 129 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 13.2 gallons. You'll expect to see 24 miles per gallon in the city and 32 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 103.6 inches. Its overall length is 168.9. It has a width of 70.4, a height of 57.7, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.7 inches. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling, this red definitely makes this Volkswagen pop. It's a really nice color for this hot hatch. You'll notice up front too, there's also the large Volkswagen badge, which is also a sensor. There's also a sensor in the lower section for some more of the driving tech features, along with all of the parking sensors as well. You'll notice a dark housing for the headlights, high beams, and turn signals, where there's also fog lights too, integrated nicely into the lower trim accent. You'll notice too, there's a red stripe within the headlights, and it actually works its way from headlight housing to headlight housing, where there's also a DRL strip just underneath that, along with the red GTI badge. There's also a few lines coming down the hood to give it a really nice look, along with the plastic and bodywork being incorporated in that lower section there. Now with this GTI, it also comes with the sport suspension, and it has the 19-inch wheels. With that two-tone design, there's the red brake calipers too. And then this even has a turn signal for the body colored mirror caps. You'll notice too, some black trim accents for the window, and then this does have a moonroof up top. It would be nice to see the rear section gloss black as well, just to blend it in nicely. Not sure if that is an option or not. But as we take a step back now for this hatchback, really good proportions for the side. There's also some plastic for the lower side skirt there, and it pokes out slightly just to give it a little bit more of that sporty aspect. Now this does have a body colored spoiler. There's also the third brake light. Wiper blade is in the lower section. There's also some LEDs for the lighting. There's the backup camera, which is currently hidden behind the Volkswagen badge. There's parking sensors and then the dual exhaust. Now you can use the control on the key fob to release the cargo space, or just push on the top of the Volkswagen badge, and you can use that to not only unlock this, but you can use that for the backup camera. So it is hidden behind that. Now for this hatchback, it is on the smaller side. Underneath the floor, there's a spare tire, a little bit of space. You might be able to place some items. And then of course you can remove this and fold the back seats down. There's also a 12 volt on one side there, so still a good bit of space if you do have passengers in the back. And then it's very lightweight, so it's easy to close. Now as we work our way to the interior, this has titanium gray accents for the two-tone seats, which is a nice look. For the door panel, you'll notice there's a little bit of storage, which is carpeted too. And then there's the window control and the release. And then to fold these seats down, you have the release by the headrest. So you can fold those down and get this larger opening here to place in additional items. And then at 5'10", as I hop in, like I said, this is a small vehicle. You can adjust those seats, of course, as needed. You do have multiple storage pockets behind the front seats though, which is nice. Vents in the middle, these are heated seats, and then there's a few auxiliaries in the lower section. At 5'10", I have about 2 inches or so of headroom, so headroom is not an issue. If you're taller than me, of course, maybe slightly, but I could at least ride around town. You might be able to fit a car seat back here or some smaller kids, so it still is practical for its smaller size. You'll notice too the armrest with cup holders, and then you can also fold this middle section down if you have some longer items or you need to reach for some items in the back. Now there's also that pillar behind the headrest there, but after driving this for a few days, it's really not all that hard to see around. You'll notice too, there's the GTI badge just under the mirrors. Now up front, there's the window controls. Side mirror adjustments are power folding and heated, and then there's even more storage in the lower section. And you also get power operating front seats with more of the titanium accents, the GTI logo there. It's a really nice, comfortable, sporty bucket seat. This also has memory seating adjustments and then all of the automatic controls there. And as we hop in, we're greeted with a really nice solid and perforated leather steering wheel with the flat bottom design and the GTI logo. But let's start this up, take a listen to that 4-cylinder turbo. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster now, there's a lot that you can go through with this system. You'll use the controls on the right side of the steering wheel, where there's also tuning, voice commands, the heated steering wheel, and then the rest of these controls to go through this info. So if I push on the right control, now I can go up and down and decide what I would like to see on that right side. So let's go to settings now, where you can adjust what you would like to pop up. So everything that is unchecked is something that we did not see on that side, of course, and you can further go through that just depending on what you'd like to see. So let's put the G-force meter there. If I go to the far left, now we can adjust some information here, and the same thing. You go into the settings, you can adjust what you would like to see. And then if I just start scrolling up and down right in the middle, now you can go through this information as well to show what you want to have front and center. I can also click on the view button a few times, and this will change the entire gauge cluster for these different settings. So you can pull all of this up just depending on what you're doing for the day and what you need to see. Now this also has paddle shifters. On the left side, there's volume, cruise control settings with distance pacing, and this also has a head-up display. Right now it's showing miles per hour and the speed limit sign. Now to the left, there's one air vent with this neat trim accent that works its way all the way to the passenger side, which is nice. And then there's also this panel for the headlights, fog lights, and some defrosters. So you can quickly go through all of that. This also has Harman Kardon for the audio. And then with this massive infotainment system, I currently have my phone paired to this. So you can go through all of this information just depending, of course, on what you have with your phone. If you want to get into some of the normal Volkswagen information, you can just click on Volkswagen, and now we are back to all of this. So if I start in that upper left, you can pull up all of these icons, get into your phone, navigation. When you get into vehicle, you can look at some of the statuses. You can even get into vehicle for the interior and exterior lighting, along with the tires, even go into the head-up display and to make further adjustments. There's also the driving modes. So there's 4 to go through here, depending on the throttle input that you would like and how you want the suspension to react. There's also some driving assistances, multiple settings to go into to configure this the way that you would like. There's also interior ambient lighting for this particular model. You can also push on vehicle as well, get into some of the favorites, so you can have all of these set up. You'll notice up top as well, this is fixed, so there's the engine start stop. You can get into the map and navigation, pull up your phone, get into music, and then even swipe down from the top to go through some notifications. So it's very identical to just being a large tablet in order to go through all this info, and you do have some split angles here to further go through this. Now you'll notice too, in this lower section, you can get into your temperatures, so you just swipe left and right. There's also volume right in the middle, so you have 2 basically, and then this also has heated and ventilated seats, so you can quickly go through those and quickly get into the climates. So now you can go through all of this and activate it as you would like. Very easy to go through. I will say the sliding for the climates and the volume does take some time to get used to, but once you figure that out, it's actually pretty straightforward. Now underneath that, there's more air vents, and then you have a shortcut to your driving modes. You can get into the climates, get into some assistance features, so you can look at this, and then the last one is for your parking assist. So this does have parallel parking, you can use that as needed, and even pull up the camera with the sensors on that right side. Now there's some auxiliaries down below, along with wireless charging. You get a little bit of storage to the right of the shifter, so just push that forwards to bring up the camera. There's also drive and sport mode, and then park's located in front. E-brake is behind that. You also have one cup holder. So if you don't need to use it and you need a little bit more space, you can hide it away or pop it out. Now I will say the storage pockets in the door are large enough for drinks. So you don't have to share this one in the middle. You can have very large drinks in the door panels, which is really nice. You also have a little bit of storage in the armrest. There's the auxiliary there, and then plenty of storage in the glove box. Rear view up top, along with the touch sensitive dome lights, and then this has the perforated sunshade. So that is manual, and you can just swipe your finger right here in order to open the sunroof. With most of the Volkswagen models, you can keep the sunshade closed or open, and it doesn't matter where the sunroof is. So that is really nice to see. And then with a look at visibility, it is pretty open. For its smaller size, even that pillar in the back, you can see around over your left shoulder. As we sat up behind the wheel now for the Volkswagen Golf GTI, this has definitely been a really fun vehicle to drive for the last couple of days. I've put a few miles on it just to get my bearings with this car, and it's been a lot of fun. These seats I want to point out because the bolster support that they have is fantastic. It's even around my upper shoulder here, and it's a super comfortable seat to be in. This is a very solid feeling vehicle too, and it's been a lot of fun. If you're not looking for a big vehicle, this is a hatchback. It's on the smaller size. It's still practical. It's tight, but it's practical. Just depending on the items that you have, of course. You can make it work by folding the back seats down if you need even more space for some larger items. So it is definitely a vehicle that can be daily driven and used if you're not looking for a sedan or something like that. You need a little bit larger of an open space. This is definitely a great option. Now, this is front wheel drive, unlike the Golf R, which is all wheel drive. So you do have that available as well, but it has a good bit of power for this being a little bit more of a sporty hot hatch. It's not quite performance oriented like the Golf R, but it has a good bit of power, especially for its weight too. And then as far as visibility goes, like I mentioned earlier, it's so open feeling. With its exterior design, you have quite a lot of glass to bring in a lot of light and just makes it easier to see all around. And with the driver's seat here at 5'10", I currently have maybe 2.5 inches or so. This is height adjustable. The passenger seat is as well, but everything is manual for the passenger seat. Now, let's put it into sport mode, and we can put it into the manual setting, where this also does have the sport shift. So it will go into a different transmission shifting setting point where you're not doing it. You have normal, that, and then you can actually use the paddles yourself. So we'll drop down to second gear here, where this does sound good as well. And even coming around this turn with front wheel drive, having that limited slip differential, it definitely handles well. I don't feel any torque steer or anything like that, and pushing it a good bit for this back road. So this is going to be a very fun and nimble feeling car. And I may have misspoke about its power, because this feels plenty, especially for this road that I'm on. This is a vehicle where you can wring out the gears and just have a good bit of fun with it. Wow. The shifts are also very quick too. So with that dual clutch, as you would expect, I mean, I'm moving pretty good on this road. This is impressive how the handling is. I mean, there's almost zero body roll with this car. This is fantastic. And now from a standstill, pedal to the floor, here we go. Definitely has a good bit of power to it. Brakes do a good job too, and the handling and steering is spot on. So this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Volkswagen Golf GTI. This is a fun vehicle. I know I've said that a few times already, but if you're just looking for a sporty, smaller vehicle, something that's also going to be really good on MPG, with a full tank, this was around 420 miles or so. So it has a small tank too. You're not going to have to fill up all that often, and you can drive this every single day. It's very comfortable. Even with the sport suspension, I don't have any concerns with it. I'm not on the smoothest road right now, but out on the highway and things like that, the driving that I have done, it's been very, very fun. Turning radius is also very tight, so it's easy to maneuver, and it's got a good pickup to it. So definitely very nice. Materials are good too. There's some plastic all around, some soft touch materials for the upper dash there too. But in general, everything has a good feel to it. And while not everyone might be a huge fan of the larger screens that vehicles are putting in, or that manufacturers are putting in their vehicles now, it's actually very easy to use. If you're familiar with using a tablet, it's honestly not much different. I will say it would be nice to see some physical controls for volume and climates, but you can kind of get used to sliding your finger left and right there. You can hear a few pops in the exhaust too, but it's not overly loud. And then you have a lot to play with the gears. So ringing it out, it's not an overly powerful vehicle, but you can definitely have some fun with it and use the full potential of this car. I wish it was a little bit louder, but of course you could change that as needed. And I could see this being a fun daily driver. This would be a great vehicle, especially if you do some driving like this, but you want a little bit bigger of a vehicle to put in items in the back and everything like that. So it is really the best of both worlds, and it'll be a fun, reliable hot hatch. So that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Volkswagen Golf GTI Autobahn. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, and I'll see you all in the next video.